Idris Elba has become one of Hollywood's most distinguished actors. He received Golden Globe and SAG nominations for his role in Beast of No Nation, but did not receive an Oscar nomination.
I'm asking the TV and film industry to think outside of the box. In fact, just get out of the box. Forget it. This isn't a speech about race. This is a speech about imagination. And as I said before, a speech about diversity of thought.
Elba spoke to members of Parliament earlier this week. He said not enough is being done to nurture diverse talent. He talked about how this affected his early career.
My agent and I would get scripts, and we were always asked to read the black male character, right, or the athletic type. But when the script asked for a black male, it wasn't describing a character or a person's character, it was describing a skin colour. Now, a white character, a white male, was always called a Caucasian, or a man with a twinkle in his eyes. Now, my eyes may be dark, but they definitely twinkle. And I was like, I want to play the guy with a twinkle in his eyes. So I got to a certain point in my career where I saw the glass ceiling. I was so close to it, I was going to hit my forehead on it.
Elba explained that he refused to be pigeonholed, that his experience taught him that too often people get locked into boxes. All right, joining us now, our film critic Tim Cogshell with cinemainmind.com and Ted Johnson, senior editor at Variety. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Idris Elba gets these other nominations. Ted, let me start with you. Why not an Oscar nomination?
Well, it could have to do with the way the voting system works, and that's something that the Academy is probably going to be taking a look at its next meeting.
They're meeting next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday, and there's a lot of speculation that a number of things could be scrutinized. The way that Best Picture nominees are selected, the way that membership is selected, the number of nominees for each category. Perhaps, there should be 6 nominees for Best Actor and Best Actress as opposed to 5 right now.
Tim, we were talking about how complicated it is to get that top vote in the nominations. So they have to look at the system, the way they're as you were saying there, about the nominations.
It is an arcane system that involves a lot of math, at which I'm not that good.
Yeah, keep it tight for us.
So we won't go into that. But it does speak to a thing, doesn't it? That perhaps this is a problem that might be able to be fixed with some jiggering of the mathematics. However, I think it's a deeper problem. I think that this is a DNA problem, for one thing. It's sort of like in the soul of Hollywood. And it works itself out both in the higher room suites, the green lighted suites, and ultimately in the Academy.
All right, let's look at one of the films that maybe didn't get a nomination that people are talking about as we continue our discussion. Straight Outta Compton. Ted, what happened with Straight Outta Compton?
Well, first of all, I mean, I think the movie was not nominated for Best Picture, but I think what really stung was the fact that the screenwriters, the white screenwriters from the movie, did get a nomination. So you didn't see anyone else who really was involved in the picture who is going to be among the contenders on Oscar night. So I think that it's almost like it's worse than it was last year when there was a lot of talk about Oscar diversity as well, because I think the fear is that what is happening here, is it a pattern? Are the Oscars backsliding? Because you look back 10 years and there were more diverse selection of nominees. So I think that's probably what has gotten people so concerned this time around.
Tim, what would you like to see come out of this meeting with the Academy?
Well, first of all, an acknowledgement of the problem. They have, but an acknowledgement of the problem and then movement on fixing the problem. The Academy is very important. I feel for the Academy in a certain sort of way because we're being cast in this particular sort of light, which I don't think is necessarily true. I don't think the Academy is built from a lot of old racist white men.
And that's what some of the members are saying. Yeah. Why are we being portrayed as racist?
I don't think that is true at all. Now, they are all negligent men who aren't going as deeply as they need to go, both into the material that's being released and into the society. I don't think that they're looking at society the way it's laid out today and understanding that they need to be deeper and more introspective about what they're doing.
They might be getting the message this year because there's going to be talk and what kind of changes that's going to come up down the road.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it right now. This is an issue that has been on the front page of the newspaper for the past 3 or 4 days now. Will Smith gets on Good Morning America announcing that he's not going. It's a story that can easily continue right up until the Oscar ceremony itself. Just as different people speak out, new controversies arise. So I think it's something
around. I got to take a break. We're going to come back and let you follow up on that thought, okay? All right. Coming up next, more big stars are coming forward, as we just discussed, to say changes need to be made. We're going to take a look at diversity in Hollywood when we come back. All right, so all eyes on Chi-Raq as we're heading into the Oscars. I'm back here with my guests, DeVon, Tim, and Ted. All right, DeVon, let me start with you. What do you expect from Chi-Raq?
Funny. He's going to be funny. And knowing Chris, when you look at his brand of humor, he always takes the issues head on.
He'll bring it up.
He'll bring it. So, it'll be interesting to see how he tackles this, given that the climate is so hot. And he needs to be funny, but at the same time, handle this in a serious way.
All right, Tim, no way would he step down?
Oh, no, and he shouldn't, and I wouldn't want him to if I thought there might be a possibility. I'd suggest, no, don't do that. Astute, funny, and he's always been a very sharp social critic, of course. He's been talking about things to do with race his entire life. It won't really be that much of a special night for him. You could probably just reach back into his bag of commentary and talk about a lot of things.
But will people be watching to see him, Ted?
Oh, sure. I think there may be even more interest in this ceremony too, because of that that element of danger. What is he going to say? Is he really going to take on the Academy? Bite the hand that feeds him in this award ceremony.
Well, we saw it with Ricky Gervais. He took on he made comments about the industry in a different way.
And a different sort of context, too, of course. And Ricky was brought in to do something very specific. This is a different situation. And I do not think that Chi-Raq will attack the Academy. I think he will call the Academy to task. But the Academy needs to be called to task. So I think they're probably ready for it.
Do you think they can make any changes before the Oscars, or is it going to be 2016?
No, I think, they're on a path to make some serious changes before the Oscars air.
Like what?
Whether it's in making sure there are 10 nominees as it relates to the Best Picture, because right now it can fluctuate between 5 and 10.
Okay.
There's even talk of maybe expanding how many actor nominees instead of doing 5, which has been historical. There's talk of maybe more.
They could announce those changes coming.
I think so. I think that the Academy feels that pressure of doing something and saying something before this award show happens.
All right, gentlemen, give me a final thought, Ted.
I think that this is a controversy that has been around for a long, long time. Now it feels like it has bubbled up to the point where action needs to be taken. And not just with the Academy, I think the industry itself now is under a lot of pressure to take a look at its executive ranks, take a look at the talent agencies, other parts of the industry, and say who's in the leadership position.
All right, Tim, bring us home here.
This is a two-tier problem. It begins with the executive suites and who has the power of the green light, and then it sort of plays itself out in these Academy Awards every year. Kudos to Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, Spike Lee, all of those who've brought attention to this problem. Boycotts are a very effective thing. Black folks know a little something about boycotts.
All right, let me ask you, you want to give me your prediction for Best Picture with the nominees that we have?
I pick The Revenant.
Yeah.
Well, Spotlight will win. The Big Short ought to.
Okay, quickly?
Revenant.
Okay, very good. All right, more when we come back. Thanks, guys.